Hello, guys. Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening. Today is November 7th, 2024, and you know what that means. If you are interested in participating in the 2026 DV lottery, you are almost out of time. Today is November 7th, 2024. Here in America, as I'm doing this live, it's 6:30 in the morning. That means you have about 5.5 hours to complete your entry if you haven't. I'm going to leave this video here. I know a lot of people might not be able to join the live now. Actually, this is the first time I'm doing a live shoot like very early in the morning. But that's because we are almost out of time. We're almost out of time. It's 6:30 in the morning here. It's 2:30 p.m. in Nairobi. By 7 p.m., the 2026 DV entry period will be closed. We had an extension of 2 days, and I hope you took advantage of that. Today is the last day. So I thought I would come quickly, do a live shoot very early in the morning for me to do this. Actually, I don't even think my voice is okay. Nakunywa maji moto so that my voice can wake up. I'm getting ready to go to work, but I thought I would do a quick reminder that if you haven't already completed your 2026 DV lottery, this is the time to do it. You have about 5 hours left, so get your act together. Don't miss out on this opportunity. It comes in once every year, and we don't know how long the DV program is going to be. I know it's been there for many years, but with the change of government and all this and all that, you never know. So take advantage of the opportunity that lies before you. Okay, so 6:30, 6:32 here in the US. The deadline will be noon today at noon Eastern time. I live in Delaware on the East Coast, so today is the last day. So by noon, ikitu itakuwa imefungwa. There will be no, oh, can I put in my entry later? No, I've been making a lot of noise about this. I think I started talking about it back in September, getting you guys ready to prepare yourself, giving you information so that by the time you sit down to do your entry, you have the information and you know what to do. So you're like that, bam, 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 you're done. So I hope a lot of my people that watch me, a lot of my followers, a lot of my subscribers, I hope most of you or all of you have applied and you're not one of those procrastinators that wait last minute. But if you're one of those procrastinators that wait until the last minute, you have about 5 hours. So I hope you have your photo already. I hope you just need to submit your entry. Today might be a very busy time because of the latecomers. So the systems might be busy, they might be slow. So depending on where you are, make sure you have strong connections so that you're not interrupted. When I was growing up, we used to listen to radio, and radio was the biggest form of communication. There was a program in the evening that used to come at night, I think at 11, and it used to be called Kipindi cha Lala Salama. Radio used to be shut down at 12 midnight. So after 12 midnight, there's nothing. You're done with your radio programs. They're all done. I think even TV used to be closed at that time. So we would listen to the last program and then they would say good night and you would go to sleep. You wouldn't have any, and we didn't have smartphones. So there was no other way of listening to anything. So radio and TV was it. And that Kipindi Chalala Salama, it was people saying good night to each other and stuff like that. And right now, that is the equivalent of that. Kipindi Chalala Salama. We are on the last stretch of the race. We are on the last stretch of the DV entry period. So this is it. If you haven't submitted your entry, this is the time to do that. dvprogram.state.gov. If you've been living under a rock and you have not been watching these videos and you've never heard about the DV program, the DV program is a program by the US Department of State that helps immigrants from other countries to come to the US with low rates of immigration, to come to the US to live and work and study here in the US without any restrictions. So that means they're given a green card. Every year, the US Department of State issues about 55,000 visas, diversity visas, to immigrants so that they can come and live and work and study here. Its main purpose is diversification. So take advantage of it, because you never know. It's a random selection. It's a random selection. So the chances of winning are lower than the chances of losing. But you will never know if you don't try. It's free to enter, so you're not losing anything. So just go ahead and apply if you haven't, because you never know where your chance lies, where your opportunity lies. And this opportunity is ending today for this year. This opportunity ends today at noon, 7 p.m. Kenyan time. So just a quick shout out to everybody that has been joining my lives every time I come on the live and participating in the questions and the comments. I appreciate that. Everybody that has already applied, the people that applied a while ago, let's just sit tight and wait. The results will be announced in May of next year. Make sure you're saving your confirmation number so that you can use it to access. And when that time comes closer, I'll come back and remind you and show you where to go. So it's really early for me. I feel like my voice is not even, but anyway, Octopus Art, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining the live. I didn't think anybody would join the live. I thought I was just gonna do a quick video and be done. But this is quick shout out to all my subscribers, everybody that has participated in my DV program videos. Thank you for that. All my subscribers, new subscribers, thank you to my thank you and welcome to my channel. Junita, do you say Junita or Junita? Junita Wanjiko, hello Lucy. Mom's name was Lucy. Wish me luck next year. All the best. Have you submitted your entry, Wanjiko? Have you submitted your entry? If you have, all the best. Let's sit tight. Fingers crossed. If you had your picture together, looking good with meeting all the specifications, I hope that your entry will be chosen, will be selected come next year. Real TBT Kenya, how are you guys? Thanks for sharing the information. Yes, thank you. It's my pleasure always. You guys know that I'm a nurse. That's my day job. I'm a nurse by profession. I really like to do YouTube. I like to share information. So I do appreciate your support. This is my young channel. I started my channel last year around the same time. I think I started it in June of last year. I appreciate your support. I don't take you guys for granted. My subscribers that I've gained during this DV program season, I don't take you guys for granted. Thank you for coming back over and over and watching my videos and commenting, engaging with me, letting me know where you're watching from and stuff like that. Okay, all the best. All the best, Wanjiko, this time. All the best. So quick recap for anybody that just needs a refresher and somebody who is hearing about the DV program these last few minutes and does not know what to do. Go to dvprogram.state.gov. When you go to that link, it takes you straight to the form. Go and submit your entry. Make sure you have the photo. Your photo should meet specifications, and there's a quick video that I've done on my YouTube playlist for the 2026 DV lottery. There's a video about, it's a 3-minute video about the specifications for the photo. If you watch that, you will need all the information, you'll have all the information you need. That's the only thing that you'll need to upload. If you're single, you only need your name as it appears on your birth certificate or on your passport. You need your education information so that you can select the one that applies to you. Qualifications. Eligibility requirements, your country has to be eligible. If it's not eligible, you will not be able to go through with the entry. Education requirements, it's either high school diploma minimum, which is 12 years of elementary and secondary education in comparison to the US system. So they're using the US system. So the equivalency for Kenya would be KCSE. You should have your KCSE certificate. If you have other degrees, then that's okay. But the minimum is the high school diploma or work experience. So there's instructions on the kind of work experience that is needed. So make sure that you follow that. So if those things are aligning, then you can go ahead and complete your entry. Once you complete your entry, you will submit it. You'll save your confirmation number. You can print it. You can save it on WhatsApp. You can email it to yourself. Just make sure that you have it for next year, because next year is when we're going to check the results. That is in May of 2025. If you're married, make sure you add your spouse. So for the married people, they do twice. You can do 2 separate entries for you and your spouse. So your spouse completes the entry, uploads the photo, puts in their information as the main applicant, and adds you as the derivative. And then you, on the other hand, you will be the main applicant. You upload your photo, put in your information, and add your spouse as the derivative. So you have double chances of winning. If so, marriage is legal marriage. It's not just can we stay. It's not. You have to have paperwork that shows marriage certificate, because if you win, or when you win, when you go to the interview, they will need that to show that you're legally married. If you are legally separated, that means you have a court order. Then you don't have to add the person. You will not be disqualified, or you'll not be penalized if you add that person. If you add the person that you're legally separated from, then you will not be able to immigrate with them, to migrate with them to the US. If you're divorced, when you go to the interview, you'll need your divorce decree, you'll need your divorce papers. If you're widowed, then you'll need the death certificate of your spouse. Obviously, you'll need birth certificates for everybody involved in that application. So make sure you have those. If you have children, so let's talk about the children. The children, if you don't have children, it will just be part 1 of the application, and you'll just say 0 for children, and you just submit and get your confirmation number. If you have children, then it will prompt you to move to the next section where you will add your children. So depending on the number of children that you have, you will need their information also, date of birth, where they were born, but you don't need their education and all that other stuff at this point. So make sure you add your children. So your birth children, the biological children, the one that you have, your stepchildren. So for the stepchildren, make sure that you are legally married to that person who is the parent to the kids. So if you married somebody who already has children, make sure that it's a legal marriage. You have a marriage certificate. That way you can add the children as the stepchildren. If you have adopted children legally, then you will need to add those children. So bear in mind that the children have to be under the age of 21. So if you have older kids that are 21 and over, they should do their own separate entry. They should complete their own separate DV entry. So for that place for children, you put 0, because they're adults now, they can do their own entry. The children, their spouse, should have a photo also. So everybody who is in that application should have a photo. Don't forget to print and save your confirmation number. dvprogram.state.gov. So for this entry, it doesn't take much, but it doesn't take a lot of time to complete. It's not like the DS-260, and we'll talk about that after this period is over. So once we're done with today, then we'll start focusing of the 2025 DV lottery and the people who are going for interviews and the people who are completing the DS260, and we'll move on to that part and we'll concentrate on that group of people now. But the DS260 takes a long time. It is a long form, but this entry for the DV lottery is very short. If you have your information ready, when I did the sample video, it took me about 30 minutes. It took me 30 minutes, and only because I was explaining things as I was going. So if you have your information, it shouldn't take that long, but bear in mind, it's not like the DS260 where you can save and come back to it later. This is a one-time shot. You sit down, you complete your entry, you submit. So you won't be able to go back and come back. Beware that because today is the last day, there may be a lot of interruptions, internet connections and all that. And we just did an election. So the systems might still be very busy. So that's why I was saying before, just do it earlier so you don't have to worry about it today. But just in case you are caught up in something and today is the only time that you could do it, you still have a few hours to get yourself together and do it. So those are just the highlights. The biggest disqualifiers are the photo. The photo is the biggest disqualifier, saying that your country is eligible and it isn't. And there's a list of countries that are not eligible. I have a video about that. You can watch it, or you can go to dvprogram.state.gov and under instructions, just complete that. Under instructions, press that and see which countries are eligible. So I'm typing the website, the link here for anybody who hasn't completed. So I'm guessing that the people that are on this live have already completed, and so I'm wishing you guys all the best. All the best. Have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. Last year, I hosted a guy who won the 2024 DV lottery. His name was Collins. And he was talking about how the DV program, the DV process is a spiritual process. And I know I usually listen to John Duty TV also, and he talks about how challenging it is, that process, how mentally draining it can be, because it's just a waiting game. Imagine playing the lottery and waiting almost a whole year to find out the results, and then winning the lottery and then going through another process of excuse me, of processing your paperwork and documents, and you waiting, and you have no control of the timelines. So you're just waiting for somebody else to determine when your interview is going to be. So it's just a waiting game, and it can be like very confusing and mentally exhausting for people. So Collins was saying how the DV process is a spiritual journey. So just believe in yourself, have confidence, inform yourself, educate yourself, go to uscis.gov, go to travel.state.gov, go to this US government immigration websites and educate yourself so that you can be well prepared. So by the time the government, the US government is sending you information, you already know that this is the next step. So you're not caught off guard, so you're not missing the deadlines and stuff like that. So I wish you guys all the best. Everybody that participated in the 2026 DV lottery, all the best. Good luck. Come back next year. Let me know if you were lucky. All right, here's a question. Is there any from Lala? Lala. Okay. Is there any problem if my mailing address on the DV entry is different from the country I am currently? For example, my mailing address is in India, but I'm currently living in Namibia. Your mailing address, I want to say it doesn't really affect the outcome of your DV entry. The biggest things that affect your, because back in the day, they used to mail information, but now with the technology era, with the digital era, they need your email. So as long as your email is correct and you have access to your email, then that's the more important thing. I'm not saying the mailing address is not important, but I'm saying if you're going to weigh those two, the email address is more important than the mailing address as far as the priorities. So if you win, and because you've already submitted, there's no way of correcting this. But if you win on the DS260, you can update your address and put the right address. The real TBT. Yeah, 1 year of waiting. I'm telling you, you're just there waiting. It's like doing KCSE, guys, by the way, the guys in Kenya. It's like doing KCSE and then you're told you would. How long does it take you guys to wait for the KCSE? I forgot. I did my KCSE so long ago. I think we do it in November and we got the results in January. Was that true? I don't remember. But it's like doing KCSE and then being told to wait a year to get your results. Can you imagine how mind-boggling that would be? So yeah, you have to be strong mentally, and you have to be ready for disappointments, because like I said, it's a random selection. So nipata potea, it's machine selected. So digitally selected, you have no control. But at the same time, I have met people that have come here, very many people here in the US, and only in Delaware, by the way, in Delaware only. I have met so many people that have come through the DV program. I've met people who've come through B1, B2. I've met people who've come through the F1 visa, the student visa, and people who have come through the DV. I think are the most people that I've met. Also, I've met people who've come through. They're not from Kenya; they're from other countries, but they came through the work visa. I think the EB visa. So we can talk about those different kinds of visas in our future videos. But for this one, it's the DV program. It's the quickest. To me, it's one of the best ways to come to the US. The real results will be out around. Okay, yeah, I kind of remember. I remember that. My Coca-Cola Atlanta story is amazing. Yeah, the real TBT. That was something for me. By the way, guys, if you don't know, I came to the US. I used to work for the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation back in the day, man. It feels like so long ago. I used to work at KBC, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. At that time, we didn't have that many channels, FM channels, all these radio stations, all these TV stations. By the way, now there are so many. At that time, we had KBC as the TV channel. We had KBC was the national channel, so it was reaching almost every corner of the country. So it had a very, very wide reach. And then we had KTN at that time, and what other one? I think that was it. Those are the ones that I remember, KBC and KTN. And then we had radio stations. KBC was the only one that had radio stations. So it had the main channel, the main English channel, KBC, and then it had the KBC English service, and then KBC English service, KBC Swahili service, and KBC vernacular service. So it will be Kikuyu, Kijaluo, and then I think Kikamba. So then 1 year, KBC said, we are going to start our first FM station in the country. At that time, there was no FM station. They said, KBC is going to launch a new FM station, and we are asking all these no experience required. If you're 21, I think they said if you're 21 or younger or over 21, something like that. There was an age group. There was an announcement on radio, and I happened to hear the announcement while I was in a mat in number 3 transporting, like going to college. And I heard the announcement. I was like, okay, I will apply. And I applied for that and I got the job. I got the job at KBC. At that time, the first FM station in Kenya was Metro FM. Metro FM, that was back in the day, 101.9. So that's how I got my first gig at a broadcasting station. And through the programs that we used to do various live shows and stuff like that. I got a sponsorship to come to the US, to the World of Coca-Cola headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's how I first came to the US. And through that, many doors were open for me, and I appreciate that. So thank you, The Real TBT Kenya, for reminding me that everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. So if you make your journey to the US through the diversity visa, then you have a better opportunity. You have more chances than anybody else, because it's just, you're getting a green card. You're getting a green card. You don't have to go through the processes. Most of the visas, most of the US visas, it's a process. You have to go through a process. You have to go through adjustment of status and pay some money. You have to go through this and pay some money, or have somebody sponsor you, right? Excuse me, just warm water for my throat. But this one, you don't have to do that. You do the initial amounts that you pay, and I know it can be costly, but guys, the benefits outweigh that amount. When you come here, you find a job, and let's say you come with your whole family, right? When you come with your family, so you and your spouse are working, that money, you'll recover it. You'll recover the money sooner than later. So, however, you will need to get that money for medical, for the visa application fee. I think it's $330 for the visa for each person. And I know that's a lot of money. I know. I empathize with you guys, because that's a lot of money. But when you look at the price that you're winning, it is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and it opens up more doors for you when you come to the US to do better and bigger things. And I'm not saying that the US is the best place ever, but when somebody presents you with that opportunity, take it. Take it. Afadhali ukuje. As soon as you step into this country, the port of entry, unaweza tu ingia, you can just go in the port of entry and go back. As long as umeingia and you get your passport stamped, your visa stamped and all that, you can go back to your country and then come back and visit. But make sure you don't stay too long, because then you won't be able to succeed and to move forward with your US citizen application, if that is your goal. But I'm saying the benefits to me, and that's my opinion, the benefits outweigh the disadvantages. If you have a family and you apply for another kind of visa, most visas do not allow you to come with family. There are only a few visas that allow you to come with family. So the other advantage of the DV is that you and your family come together as a package. There's no family separation. There's no family separation. You have that opportunity for you and your family to come together as a family. So I just wanted to stop in and say good luck to everybody. Remind the procrastinators that time is up. Kipindi ni cha lala salama. Kipindi ni cha lala salama. All my viewers in Kenya, you know what that means. It means it's about to be shut down. Once it's shut down at noon, you cannot go in. That website will not be accessible to you until next year. So this is it, guys. I just thought I would come in and do a quick 30-minute live session. If you're not able to come on this live, and this is for the people who will watch the video later, good luck. I hope you are not going to run out of time and then regret later and say, oh, I wish I applied. just do it. You have a few more hours left. About, is it 4 hours now? You have about 4 hours left to complete your entry, or 5 hours left. So good luck, everybody. If you guys don't have any other questions or any other comments on this live, I appreciate you joining me. This is the earliest I've done any live. It's very early in the morning. It's 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. on a Thursday. What on a job? I thought I would just stop in and check in on you guys for the final time before the DV lottery is entry period is closed. So thank you so much for joining me on this live, and I will talk to you guys later. I'll come back and then we'll talk about different things. Now we're gonna move away from the 2026 DV lottery and move towards the 2025 DV lottery to see what processes or what other steps that people who already won the 2025 DV lottery, what they need to do moving forward. So thank you so much. It's 3 p.m. Okay, it's 3 p.m. there. It's 7 a.m. here. Dunia Nimbili, by the way. It was two different worlds. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.